everybody, it's Renee and I am back. It's been a little bit since I've done a video. I've been out to Northern Virginia staying with my goddaughter for a little bit while her mother was out of town. And I am now back and I am participating in Load, although I haven't really uploaded very many pictures to the Load Flickr gallery because they redid the app and it's terrible. It's really super hard. I don't know why they thought that was an improvement, but bent over. So yeah. And then I had a really busy weekend and then I was gone for 2 weeks. So I just thought I would share what I actually got done. This first layout, we had to do something about the day or the year we were born. And these are photos of me when I was a baby. The first photo is the day I was born, and then there are like a handful of photos of me when I was a kid, or a baby, and a kid too. You know, my parents didn't really take too many photos because it was expensive. And then about a year or two ago, at our history museum here in Minnesota, in St. Paul, they had an exhibit called 1968, which is the year I was born. So of course I had to go and see the exhibit. And I was born in March of 68, and that little star there in the bottom photo is kind of marking between March 12th and March 16th to show kind of the day that I was born. And that little acetate arrow, all these like are from the Heidi Swap. It just says "You are here" kind of thing. And then that camera, or not the camera, the typewriter is from Heidi Swap too. Yeah, pretty much all of this is Heidi Swap except for the journaling card. That is Project Life Jade. So this is my first Load layout. Our second prompt was to do our childhood room. And well, I lived in a couple houses because my dad was getting his master's degree, and that's kind of where this photo's from. This, actually, I did a Google search and I actually found somebody selling a vintage, air quotes, pillow sham, and these are the pillow shams and the bedspreads that were on my sister and I and my bed for those 2 years that we lived in the housing where my dad was going to grad school. So for this layout, I used some really old stuff. I used some old basic gray. That red with the yellow polka dots is like lemonade, and I can't even remember the collection. It's a couple years old, along with some old jelly bean soup. I think it's one of the first collections. And then that ledger paper is the back side of the basic gray, red, and yellow polka dot. I had gutted the back side of it, and yeah, and then I just punched out some daisies to kind of mimic the flowers in the pillow sham, and just told the story about how my brother used to come in our room, and we get sick of him, and then we'd say, "Mommy, Ricky's out of his own bed." So I told my kids that story a lot, so it's kind of fun to get that documented, and really fun to find that old vintage pillow sham. So I just stole that from the internet. And then prompt 3 is kind of where I went off prompt. It was talking about games and game nights, and frankly, I've done a lot of pages through the years of my kids playing games. The board games are mostly of when we go to my mother-in-law's house, so I have quite a few layouts like that, and I really didn't want to do another one. So I made this pocket page for the tickets that we are going to, of events that we're going to over the course of the year. And this is going to go in the back of my album. I used 2 of these really old KI Memories pockets, some washi tape, the 2014 and the Life is Good. Those are Mambi chips that you can get at Michael's. They're actually on clearance for $2.99 right now, so it's like you get like 3 sheets of chipboard stickers in a pack, so I thought that was pretty good. And then the little white flowers are from the May Freckle Fawn kit. And then the washi, I just got at Target. It was like a 3-pack of black washi tapes, and they were on clearance for like 99 cents. So as we go to events, and we've actually gone to, you know, a few already this year, I'm going to just stick the tickets in there and keep those at the end of the album for 2014. So. And here I'm kind of going off prompt again, but since the theme is kind of past perfect, I thought this kind of fit the overall arching theme. And I went to my alumni day at my college. I am a 20-year alumni, and they made a special effort to invite me to come back to the alumni day. So I went and I saw what is new. I actually live in the same general area as my college, but I don't get down to that area very often. Probably the last time was about 10 years ago. And there was a lot of changes then, and there's a lot more changes now. Like this bottom building did not exist. So this, they talk about going through the arches. It's kind of a big deal. So it kind of, if you look at this picture here, it looks pretty much exactly like the old campus, but then these 2 shots are showing kind of the new campus, and they've changed, sorry for knocking the tripod there, they've changed things around so many times that I needed a map to find certain things. But this is old paper pad, Amy Tan's first collection, and then I just added some brown washi that was from like the original Smash, and then I cut out, like I'm using X-Acto here for the typewriter and down here, and I just slid like a photo grouping that I matted on some blue cardstock. And then those stickers are from, the round ones are from Studio Calico, and then that little star one is from the Mambi chip stickers. But it already had this kind of, it was already kind of done for you. So yeah. And then the next day I kind of just went along with that theme of my college, and when I was visiting, I went with my husband, who hadn't really spent too much time on campus. I was actually married to my husband because I was in the military, and I came out, and I was kind of an older college student. I was actually 26 when I graduated college. So we lived in another suburb, and I drove down to college for my last 2 years. And these were, so I was a commuter student, and these were the places I used to hang out. The top picture is a little tunnel. There weren't computers back then, but it was a little tunnel where there was a seating area where you could hang out. And then the bottom photo is a commuter lounge, which is totally rearranged. None of those tables and chairs were there. It used to be like almost like a pit area where they had these like carpeted steps that went all the way around. And then people would just sit and hang out there. And then the middle photo is the leather room in the library. I remember going there to work on like my senior capstone business project, and a lot of our group projects doing there in the leather room. And it's pretty sad because the leather is really worn in that room. And my library of my college now has a coffee shop in it. So the room has really opened up, but it used to be hidden and not too many people knew about that room. Um, so I wanted to go back and look at some of the places where I used to go. So this is called Old College Hangouts. I used some thickers and some old Scrabble letters and some OA mini markets, some of the Manby chips, and I cut a bunch of the old Amy Tan first collection papers apart and then kind of layered them together. So this was kind of a fun layout, and I thought it kind of went with the theme. And then here's kind of where I went really off prompt. And originally, and I got really arty. Originally, I was going to do a layout about my husband picking out his Viking seats in the new stadium. But, I kind of, you probably kind of noticed, I'm kind of like into these picture collages. There was a coupon at Walgreens where you could do a picture collage for like 40% off. They're normally like $4.49 or something like that, but then they end up being like $2 something. And, you know, probably you can arrange them on, you know, on the mobile app. So I've been kind of into doing that lately, and it's like instant gratification. My Walgreens is like 5 minutes down the road. I can upload it, and then like 5 minutes later they're telling me, your picture collage is done, come get it. And then I can go get it. So if you're seeing a lot of the picture collages, yeah, I'm really kind of into that right now. But anyway, back to how this layout started. So I got this purple cardstock from Michael's when it was a 5 for $1, and this is Recollections cardstock. So as you can see, it's kind of warping up, and I'll probably have to mount it on some cardstock, excuse me. So I just took some gesso and I slathered it all over, and I kind of liked it because you can kind of see it's kind of a basket weave basket weave pattern. And as I was starting to look at it, and I accidentally stuck this little thing on top, I said, hey, you know, that kind of looks kind of icy. Kind of looks like the ice. And if you notice, the middle and the bottom photos kind of have a purplish cast to from the lighting. And I thought, wow, this might look really good. So then I got some of those Heidi Swapp Mistable tags at Michael's, and I used blue Delusions, and then the bottom one is green. I was trying to go for the same kind of green in the top photos, Jason Brown. And just a little aside, if you have not seen Jason Brown's River Dance, you need to Google it because it's amazing. Yeah. My husband got me on ice seats for Stars on Ice. He knows I love figure skating, and I took my kid that is a figure skater too, and we had a most amazing time. We were on the end, right in the middle. So Jason Brown came and stopped right in front of us. Jeremy Abbott did his quad right in front of us. You can see the U.S. Paris team came right by us. It was freaking amazing. I can't even believe how awesome it was. Yes, I'm totally geeking out because I love figure skating. Anyway, so, yeah, so just that heart is a Manby chip. Those gold stars are, from a Freckle Fawn kit, thickers. And then, I don't know if you can see down here in the, sorry about that, in the corner, there's some gold, not gold, like silver stars. I used some stamping ink in the top and the bottom corners, just to kind of give it, I don't know, some flow. They're kind of a subtle touch. And then I did my journaling, which, sorry about that again, just basically talks about how amazing it was. And yeah, we were at the end, and the number right before the intermission is all the guys in the program. And at the end of the program, they come and do this huge hockey stop where the ice sprays up. And right in front of us was Charlie White, and Charlie White got us all full of ice. Yes,